Good afternoon and happy Thursday to all of your sunshiny faces, guys. I babysat today, which normally on Thursdays, I think I've told you guys I don't babysit normally, but the last 2 weeks that I'll be babysitting, I will be, so it's all 5 days during the week, which is tomorrow as well. And then tomorrow we also have Jack's football game is tomorrow, so I actually will have footage for you guys, like some football footage for you guys, probably, and possibly, because yeah, I don't really know, like it's supposed to be late. They're just doing like, it's a scrimmage game against themselves pretty much, and you know, like that kind of thing. So yeah, guys, but I wanted to share with you guys actually what we harvested from our garden, which I think I showed you guys in a vlog maybe a little bit earlier in the week, that we did get some tomatoes already. So this wasn't all from today, but we ended up picking, I think we had one big tomato. We picked at least 2 big tomatoes, plus a handful of like other smaller, like I think these ones are either the cherry or the grape tomatoes, I don't really know. And then I think these medium-sized ones are actually paste tomatoes, which are like cherry. These ones I think are cherry tomatoes. Cherry? Grape tomatoes? No, these ones are grape, these are cherry, I think. And then we also have 2 yellow zucchini, or like summer squash, and then we've got a huge, like regular zucchini, what's it called? Like, yeah, green zucchini. So there is definitely more yellow out there. This was actually the only green one that I had seen outside so far, which honestly, we probably actually could have even let it keep growing, because there was one year where we ended up getting like, I mean, this one's like, I think probably over a foot long already, but there was one year where we got one that seemed like even bigger than this one. But it's already just like crazy. We planted those only like I think 2 months ago or something like that, and it's already like we've got like fruit and zucchini off of them, and then the tomatoes too. So yeah, I think I told you guys, I was like, I don't even have to buy tomatoes this week to make in our salads. We'll probably just use our tomatoes. And we've got some other varieties out there too. There's some yellow ones that we've yet to get any good ones. Something has been eating the yellow ones for some reason, and not the red ones so much. Like I found maybe 2 red ones that had like holes in them, but so far I think we've pulled like 3 to 4 yellow ones that have all had like something's been eating them, and they've got like holes through them. So yeah, but there's only been, like I said, like maybe 2 red ones so far. Like most of our red ones have all been good, but the yellow ones haven't been looking so hot. So I don't really know what's going on, why they're preferring that kind over the other one, or like what. But yeah, there's a bunch out there that still are pretty like yellow right now. Not the actual red tomatoes that are kind of yellow looking right now, that will probably be ready to pick within the next few days as well. So we're slowly starting our little harvest so far. Maybe I mentioned this in a vlog like several days ago, was about the not several days, maybe it was a few weeks ago actually, about the broccoli and cauliflower. I say the cauliflower kind of looks like it's trash, but the broccoli, I think I told you guys, it went like kind of to seed. I forget what they call that. Something like that. It's like going to what's it called, bolting, I think that's what it's called, where it bolts or something like that. And I read stuff that like a lot of people said that it would happen like early in spring, since we didn't plant ours until later, and because of the warm weather, that's why it ended up happening, I think. And so I've never grown broccoli before, or cauliflower. But I was like, oh, the plant's kind of trash, because that's what some people were saying from like what I was reading. And they were saying like, oh, just pull it out and plant something new for spring, because that's when most of the things that I was reading like were saying and stuff like that. Like if it does bolt or whatever, that it's normally like you should just scrap it and plant something else, so you don't waste like garden space or whatever. And so, but since we already planted it so late, I was like, no big deal, I'm just gonna leave it in the garden and see what happens. It actually looks like it could possibly actually like be like real broccoli on there right now, because it's not like bolting, like going to seed. And so I think it might actually be like salvageable, because I did trim off like the parts that were, you know, already going to seed, and just again to see what was going to happen. So we don't know whether or not it will be good, or like I said, if it's more of a, we might be able to wait till fall when it's a little cooler out and it might do a little bit better. But it's kind of coming along, and it looks like I said that it's actually like we're actually going to get some type of produce off of it, which is a little interesting. Our onions outside are doing crazy awesome too. I'd take you guys out there, but it's dark out right now. And like I said, we've got several more yellow like summer squash, and I didn't really see, like I said, off like right outside any of the green, the zucchini. And then we've got maybe one green pepper. There was two that ended up turning red, which I think maybe it's the same thing, like it either got too hot or they might have had too much water, the peppers. But there's one green bell pepper that's out there that actually looks like it might do okay. But I think I told you guys, our bell peppers are getting crowded out by the tomatoes, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna move them to like the spot in between the zucchini and the onions. But the problem is now the onion, or the zucchini is growing like crazy. It would probably end up crowding them out as well. So if we do get the next bed put in, which I'd like to, maybe I'll try and move the bell peppers. I don't really see what it's gonna do now, because they might end up like, I might end up hitting a root, and then, you know, it's kind of like ruin the plant anyway. So I don't really, like I said, know what it's going to be able to do. And I want to save the next bed that we're putting in, which my dad said he's supposed to work on this weekend. I want to save that for doing kale, lettuce, and spinach as well. So yeah, I'll let you guys know about our little update to our produce. But we are getting some like produce off of it right now, which is pretty good. My mom was even saying too, with the green zucchini, we'll probably end up making zucchini muffins and probably some zucchini bread as well, because we'll probably wind up with a lot more zucchini. And there's only like, I don't mind zucchini. I've actually always liked zucchini ever since I was little. My friend's mom actually used to grill it a lot, and I actually, at first I was like, oh, this is weird, like this is a foreign foreign thing to me, like I never ate it. I don't even know that my mom ever really cooked it like for me, but I had it a few times at her house when I was like probably elementary school aged or like younger, and I remember thinking, wow, this is actually pretty good. I actually kind of like this. And it wasn't something that I was just like, you know, like completely, you know, I actually tried it, which was kind of weird because normally I'd be like, no, I don't want to try it, but she was eating it, and so I was like, maybe I should try it too. And I did, and I actually liked it. And since ever since then, I've always like not mind zucchini. Like it's not my favorite thing ever, but it's just always been like kind of a tasty thing depending on how you make it. And I don't know what to do with the yellow, like the summer squash. I'll normally do like a zucchini bake. Sometimes I've done that. Sometimes I will hide zucchini in like pasta sauce and stuff. A lot of times I do that, but that's normally with green zucchini, like regular zucchini, and not with the summer squash. And so I don't really know what else to make with that. And so yeah, and also too, because it is still kind of summer out, don't want to turn the oven on because it's kind of hot. So I have to try and figure out something. I mean, we can always shred it and save it, but I don't even know what you use like yellow zucchini for, or like yellow squash, summer squash. I don't know, it's got a whole bunch of names for it, guys. Anyways though, we did end up going out for my mom's birthday dinner tonight. We went to actually a like Mexican restaurant, which is like local. I don't actually even think it's a chain restaurant. It's like just a local kind of restaurant, which is actually not in our town, though we had to drive a little bit to get there. But oh my gosh, guys, I had like a vegetarian like tostadas. Oh my goodness, they were so good. And the thing was too, guys, I have never had a waiter or waitress or anything like that ever ask me. So when they, you know, I was, you know, telling her what I wanted, and I had said like, oh, I'd like, you know, that with no meat, you know, just with the avocados, because there was like 3 options, like beef, chicken, and with avocado or something like that. And I was like, no meat. Can I just have it with the avocado. And she's like, oh sure. She's like, are you a vegetarian? And I was like, yeah. She's like, okay, well our the refried beans had chorizo or whatever it is in there, or something like that, and some type of meat. And I was like, okay. She's like, so you want black beans? I was like, yes, probably. And she's like, also our rice is cooked in chicken broth, which I've never had I think I've had a lot of probably like rice and stuff like that probably cooked in chicken broth and not realized it, just because normally I'm not the type of person that like asks or like finds out or anything like that. And normally if it doesn't already say it on there, I'm not like really paying attention. And that, again, the bean thing probably would have been bad. I know a lot of refried beans too, they do cook them in like, they'll have some type of like fat, like I forget, unless you get the fat-free kind. I know at Aldi that's what I have to get, because the other kind, the like non-fat-free kind, has some type of like, it has lard in it, I think it is. So I normally don't get that, but I've never had like a waiter or waitress ever like ask like, oh, are you a vegetarian? Like if I ever say something like not, without meat or something, you know, or if I order it with, you know, just the non-meat version. And so I thought that was really cool, and I was like, that's like not something that like most people are ever like, you know, paying attention to and stuff like that, or even ever asked to, because a lot of times, depending on your level of vegetarianism, you might still, like my cousin is, but she still will have stuff if it does have like chicken broth in it, or if it has like you know, there's something like it's baked in with something else, you know, or whatever. Not baked in, but like, you know, if it was like cooked with some type of meat substance or something like that. Like I said, if it had like lard in it, or if it had like chicken broth was cooked in with it, like that's how they cook the rice or whatever. But I've never had like someone that was like educating me on what they had, the way they serve it, because like I said, normally I don't end up asking those type of questions unless I know ahead of time. But I like I said, I thought that was really cool that there was actually somebody that asked me, because I've never had that happen to me before. And I was like, yeah, I am. So I was able to make sure that everything on my plate was all vegetarian, and I didn't have to like guess or like find out like halfway through eating it. Which, like I said, it's not a huge big deal if I don't know ahead of time, but if I like find out like mid eating, then that's when I'm normally kind of like, oh, like yeah, or you know, just don't know at all, like something was cooked with like chicken broth or you know, whatever. But we went there, and like I said, those tostadas were like crazy good. They had like, it was black beans on it with it had like I said, there was the avocado and stuff. Oh my gosh, guys, it was seriously good. And so yeah, guys, that was kind of it for today. Like I said, I babysat, not much else ended up happening. That's why me and the little boy we were babysitting for went out and picked all this stuff in the garden today. But he helped plant the zucchini from seed like 2 months ago or whatever. So the fact that he kind of got to see the whole process in the time from when we started babysitting until now, I thought that was really cool. Like he helped do that, and you know, it was something that he literally pretty much grew. He always wants to go out and like check the garden and wants to go and water it and stuff like that. And so I'm like, these are seriously like his zucchini. You know, he kind of grew these, and so that's why I think me and my mom are gonna at some point soon make like zucchini bread and zucchini muffins probably, and send some with him probably, hopefully before next week, because that's kind of when we're done babysitting. But it's been hot out the last, like today was actually very cool. It was super breezy too. It was actually like chilly, I'd almost say, but we just had that storm that blew through like earlier in the week, so that might have been why. But we have to figure out a day when it's not too hot to be able to bake some of that stuff. But anyways, I will see you guys all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye, guys.